Good morning. Today's the day. Today's the launch of SOS Philippines. But before we do everything today, we're gonna have breakfast first. Going down now. It's my first time to try the breakfast here at Seda. Yesterday, I wasn't able to.
I had champurrado and today still I have champurrado in Cebu. That's my favorite, that's what I miss. And then that's why hindi ako nag-Daniel because I'm going to eat rice. This is different. This is cinnamon, tutok, Spanish, and pandesal. Malambot.
So, preparing now for the event. It's already 12 o'clock, so 1 hour left before the event. I need to be there 30 minutes before the event starts. Hubbee is there already helping the team preparing the venue. So, here's my barong. Here. It's good. Bought it from Cultura yesterday. I'm excited. Okay, I need to finish preparing. Alright, see you at the event. Yeah.
Of course, Father Anton.
Oh, he's coming!
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And Bo.
And
Okay. Okay. Bisa kayo. Go, go, go.
hi, Mayor. I am Will.
Hi, Will. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Hi, Mayor. They're from China. Mayor, this is Bo from SOS.
Hi, I'm
Hi, James.
Patricia from SOS Philippines. So much for being here.
Thank you also for having us in Norway. It's really because I'm very good friends with
Now, as we begin our program, very honored to be part of this very momentous occasion. Now, before we dive into the program, please get comfortable. Your presence here today is your demonstration of support. Let's get started with the official launch of Scholars of Sustenance in the Philippines. Now, to officially welcome us to the event, may we call on Mr. Bo Holmgren. All right. I want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank everyone for the support. I was asked to talk a little bit about background, and I will keep it short because the important people here is James and Arthur. You should hear more from them. But I spent my whole life mathematically optimizing cash for banks. I had a software company. And when it was time to kind of stop that and sell it and give back, I realized sitting in a hotel in Bangkok, 97% of the food left. And they all just came and took it away. So I went home and said, you guys do get to take this home, right? No, sir. If we took it home, we'd be cooking more and so on. So, no, we throw it in the trash. You mean the container I can see down there? But next to the container, there's a wall and there's some people that really look like they could do with this food. Yes. And I think it's so important to just stress. Landfill with all the food. Indonesia is number 2 food waste in the world, we just talked about a little while ago, right? So that's what it's all about. The fact that we are then also able to provide all this nutrition, really lift them out of poverty if we can, is a wonderful side effects. Different from food banking, different from many other things that you know about, right? But basically, it's also about sustainability. It's about lifting the general levels of society to a new level. Sustainability is one of the most abused words. Everybody talks and talks and talks, right? And to borrow the term from James, our GM in Thailand, right? I love that. He says, no, we walk the talk. And that is so true. Somebody has to be that little choo-choo train that gets everyone else lined up to do it. And that's what we're here to witness, right?
Now, food has always been part of Filipino culture. It's a common greeting for Filipinos to ask, oh, kumain ka na ba? So it means, have you eaten? Alright, now, we've been talking so much about food wastage, food rescue. I think it's better to show you guys efforts that has been done in 3 different countries.
Bangkok, Bali, Phuket, Hua Hin, Chiang Mai, Manila. From 500,000 meals to 25 million meals in 6 cities over the past 6 years. This is the journey of Scholars of Sustenance in Southeast Asia. As a non-profit environmental organization, we have successfully tackled the food waste and food insecurity problems in the countries where we operate. Our vision is all about food equity, where we believe that everyone should have an access to good food regardless of their race, status, gender, background, and nationality. The 3 basic concepts of our mission are saving the land, which is about addressing the food loss and food waste problems, serving the people, which is about addressing hunger and poverty issues, and feeding the mind, which is about filling the educational gaps of the society. For the last 6 years, we have been rescuing good quality surplus food from different hotels, supermarkets, convenience stores, restaurants, public and private markets, and school canteens, so those food doesn't end up in our landfills and produces harmful gas bad for our environment. We've been optimizing food distribution using our cold chain logistics and our innovative mobile application, which allows us to store data and provide collection efficiency to our team. In terms of food safety, we provide onboarding training for all of our food donors after they sign the partnership agreement and regular refresher training so they are always equipped to sort, inspect, prepare, and store the right surplus food for us. We also train and certify all of our food rescue ambassadors on a regular basis to enhance their expertise in inspecting all of the collected food from our donors. Our in-house food safety specialist provides expertise in checking what is safe and what is risky food for donation. We also provide food handling training to all of our community volunteers to serve as our last inspection step before we distribute the food to the community. We take all these necessary steps in our operation because in Nesuas, food safety is non-negotiable. On average, we collect more than 4 tons of surplus food every day from almost 1,000 of our food partners and send it to more than 1,000 vulnerable communities that target the food insecure, such as the jobless, disabled, malnourished kids, elderly, abused and neglected individuals, marginalized communities, refugees, and migrant workers. While we don't have the logistics to reach remote communities, we have partnered with different military volunteer groups to help us distribute food in far-flung areas of the country. Aside from rescuing food, we also cook in different rescue kitchen locations where our community volunteers turn those rescued food ingredients to warm meals and then serve them to undernourished individuals. This program has allowed us to build an entire volunteer network from the communities, academic, government, and business sectors where they dedicate their time to preparing, cooking, and distributing those nutritious meals. It's a great community engagement activity that shows how coming together can create a powerful impact on society. We also believe that it is part of our mission to educate the public about these problems we're addressing. That's why we have created educational programs where we can teach kids and adults about the value of food and soil and the issues around food waste. It is essential to empower them with knowledge and skills so that they can be part of the solution. We're active in joining forums and summits as well so that we can continue to speak about the problem and campaign the solution we provide. Years ago, no one would imagine we could serve this amount of meals today. We have been turned down many times. A lot of donors close their doors to us. Some have said that what we want to do is impossible and that what we do is risky. But we cannot turn a blind eye to the environmental, social, and humanitarian issues in front of our eyes. We never stop. we kept going. Even during the most difficult pandemic times, when a lot of businesses are scaling down, we were scaling up our operation. While most people are working safely in their homes, our team is out in the public, taking all the health risks so that we can continue to provide food to the needy. We are determined to make things happen, and we made it happen. Saving the land, serving the people, feeding the mind. This is Scholars of Sustenance. You can be part of this mission. Join us, help people and the planet.
Before we hear from Mr. James Mason,
To everyone who came today for the official launch of Scholars of Sustenance in the Philippines, good afternoon, and thank you for gracing this event with your presence. I could not thank you enough for showing us some love and support today by giving us your gift of time. Exactly a year ago, I came back to Manila with a mission to see the possibilities of bringing SOS to the Philippines. As someone who has been in Thailand for more than a decade now, I was not sure how I can bring this mission to my own country. I don't know where to start. I don't know who to contact or how to even begin the whole process. All I have is the desire in my heart to address the food waste and food insecurity problems in my own country. There's that certain guilt when I can see how we have been successful in doing this mission in Thailand. But I know that the same problem exists in my country. So there's that urge to do this, but I don't know how to start. But I was determined to make it happen. So after talking to a few people to understand the world of NGOs in the Philippines and to learn the process of how to do this the right way, I was also interviewing a few people who might help me kickstart this project. And after speaking to a number of interested people, there was this one person who stood out from the rest. He was so enthusiastic about this mission. He was the only one who never cared nor asked about the title, the salary, the benefits, and other usual things that normal applicants discuss when seeking employment opportunities. He was driven by the idea of changing the system and helping the needy. And so after that trip, that first trip in 2022, I knew already who I'm going to hire to lead this project. And ladies and gentlemen, that person is Arthur, the Director of Scholars of Sustenance Philippines. After a few months, I flew him to Bangkok to get immersed in the system, the process, and feel the instant effect when distributing food to vulnerable communities. I want him to understand that this is not a typical NGO, that we are different, that we are really disrupting the system and changing the game, that we really walk the talk, that we are really making a huge difference to society and to the environment. So after that, we both flew back to Manila with a determined spirit and a heart ready to make this happen. We still don't have a clue how we will get food donors or get a cooling truck or an office, nor the confidence that we will even get some support from the private and public sectors. But we told each other, let's take one step at a time. 4 months ago, I came back to finalize the office and the truck. We looked for different places in Metro Manila, and in the end, we found a place in Mackee. SOSPH has finally found its home. We also hired our first food rescue ambassador, which is Mark. Where's Mark? There he is. He is our first food rescue ambassador for SOS Philippines. As soon as we got the cooling truck, we finalized all the necessary permits and we soft launched the operation on October 24. First collection gave us 245 kilograms and we dropped them off in Tondo, where Project Pearls is supporting the community in what I think is one of the most vulnerable communities in the capital city. After that operation, witnessing all of it, I knew in my heart that we are doing something right and has the potential to help more communities in the future. What we have accomplished in Thailand is also possible to achieve here in the Philippines. We still don't know yet how to get more food donors. So when I left, the team carried the mission and started looking for partners. With no assurance of what was to come, they were determined to make things happen. In a span of 2 months, we started getting more brands joining us like Century Pacific, HSBC, Verawood Residences, Globe, Hilton Manila, URC, and CGI, providing us with some food that we were able to distribute last year. I also challenged the team to 2022 by providing an ambitious of 40,000. They exceeded that goal by serving 42,000 meals last year in just for 2 months of operating. I guess that's how we are as Filipinos, right? We're very competitive. Then this year, a few more brands have joined like Miami, No Brand, Belmonte, and Unilogics. So in just 4 months of operating, the team was able to serve a total amount of 145,000 meals to 11 communities we are supporting. A record-breaking performance out of all the 6 locations where we operate when we opened them. Joining our food rescue program is so easy and our service is free. That's why all we need is to keep telling our story so that we get more allies and more partners. If 4 months can already produce this kind of results in Manila, what more if we get more support? Like having more trucks, more food partners, more staff, and also expanding this to other places. Just imagine what we can do to influence the system. We can really change something that doesn't need a complicated process. Imagine if this is institutionalized in every local government. Imagine if we have a law that requires all food businesses to donate their surplus food instead of throwing them and producing harmful gas bad for our environment. Imagine if the government, the private business sector, and the NGOs can work together to make this happen here in the Philippines. Imagine our country like that. If we can do it in Thailand, we can also do it here. That's why we need more disruptors and change makers. Each of you who came today, you have found a tiny reason to love SOS. Because otherwise you wouldn't be here today, right? Like, I'm so grateful that Mayor Joy is here. Like, Mayor Joy is the mayor of the biggest city in Metro Manila with so many constituents and so many demands from her, but she's here. And we have some ambassadors, CEOs, head of big departments who are here and spending their time with us also. I know that you guys have busy calendars and schedules as well. Some of you have flown from other provinces to come here in Manila to join us for this event. I know you have found something about SOS. That's why you are here. Because in some ways, you started believing in the idea that there might be something good in this. And with all of my heart, I really want to say thank you. Thank you for listening to our story, our journey, and our aspirations. And most of all, thank you for believing in what we could do here in the Philippines. So I encourage everyone to help us with our mission, help us make more impact, help us help people and the planet. Again, this is James. Thank you very much.
We want to acknowledge the presence of Danish Ambassador to the Philippines, Ambassador of France, Miguel Melby.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to see all of you, and of course, a special thanks to Mohammed and the SOS team and Mayor Joy for joining us today. It's a great occasion. This is the kind of work that really inspires you. It inspired me to remind myself of the words of Steve Biko, or at least the quote he has been attributed to. Sometimes you have to be careful with who's actually making the quote. But it's a good one and I like it. And it goes like this: ask nothing, blame no one, do something. And this is just a great example of the dedication, the ambition to do something, the innovation that goes behind the thinking that actually allows SOS to provide all these meals, to bridge the gaps, not let obstacles be a hindrance.
And we believe that access to food and decent meal is a human right. No? And in a predominantly Christian country like the Philippines, it's even deeper than that. No? It is our gospel imperative to feed the hungry as corporal work of mercy. I remember in Matthew 25, Jesus said at the end of time, to some group of people enter the kingdom of God because when I was hungry, you gave me food. And they were asking Jesus Christ, when were you hungry and we fed you? And Jesus Christ said, whatever you do to the least, you do unto me. No? That's why for us, feeding the hungry and the malnourished is a gospel imperative and the basis of our salvation at the end of time. No? That's why it is our moral responsibility and religious challenge, no, to work together. And rest assured, no, of our support. Our resources are with you.
As we remember, that spirit of EDSA 37 years ago, that we can come together. to achieve, something if we want to. And seeing all of your faces here right now gives me hope in terms of helping address the hunger problem that we have.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Greetings to His Excellency Ambassador Franz Michael Melvin, to Mr. Bo Holmgreen, to Mr. Arthur Winston Bitanggol, and to the rest of the team of SOS, to Mr. Jesper Svenningsen, and to all our friends who are here today, my good friend Father Anton Pascual of Caritas Manila, Ms. Jill, and everybody else who is present today at this launch. So warmest greetings to all our stakeholders who advocate building a more resilient and food-secure Philippines. Statistical data on food loss in the world is concerning as it affects food security, environmental sustainability, and economic development. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization, around 1/3 of the food produced in the world for human consumption, which is approximately 1.3 billion tons, is lost or wasted each year. This loss occurs at various stages of the food supply chain, such as production, post-harvest handling, and storage, processing and packaging, distribution, and consumption. Food loss has significant economic, social, and environmental impacts. It results in the wastage of resources such as water, energy, and land. Food loss contributes to greenhouse gas emissions and environmental degradation. It also affects the livelihood of farmers, food processors, and other stakeholders along the food supply chain, as well as the affordability and accessibility of food for consumers. Ultimately, reducing food loss and food waste can actually reduce hunger and malnutrition. In a study done by the Food and Nutrition Research Institute of the Department of Science and Technology in 2021, 62.1% of Filipino households have experienced moderate or severe food insecurity. In Quezon City, which is the largest city in the Philippines in terms of population with about 3.1 million people, about 47.5% of child malnutrition is caused by food insecurity. Another challenge that increases the vulnerability of families to hunger and malnutrition is their inability to cope with the increasing prices of commodities. Maraming salamat po sa inyo at isang magandang hapon po sa atin.
With this.
Hingal. It's good to be back. Good to be back here in BGC. Mother.
Saan nga ulit buksan? Dito or dito?
Hindi kayo nakain ng Penoy? No. So we decided to go to SMRA. We're here again at Starbucks.
We are going to Landers to buy some groceries.
But it's raining hard. Nakakainis. Kung kailan pa ulit saka naman umulan.